Good morning, Year 3. I hope you're all well. I hope you've had a fantastic Easter holidays with your family. Hope you had lots of chocolates, lots of time for reflecting and for fun, lots of enjoyment. I'm glad the sun's been shining for us as well. I just want to say me and Mrs. Argent are really missing teaching you. It's not the same being a teacher when you do it from home, trust me. So I hope you're being good for your families. I hope you've tried a little bit of the work that we've set, but don't worry if you can't, because I know it's very strange times. We've actually got a few English tasks this week if anyone's free to do them, and they're all linked to our class book. So I just thought I'd pop on and have a go at reading the whole story to you, because it's been a long time since we heard this, and because school shut so suddenly we didn't get to the end, did we? So, Big Blue Whale by Nicola Davies. Now you have to bear with me. I've not done a lesson on camera before. Might be a little bit nervous. For every blue whale alive today, there were once 20. People hunted and killed so many of them that fewer than 10,000 remain. Blue whales are now protected, and hunting them is banned. So in some places their numbers are growing, very, very slowly. You could still sail the oceans for a year and never see a single one. The blue whale is big, bigger than a giraffe, bigger than an elephant, bigger than a dinosaur. The blue whale is the biggest creature that has ever lived on Earth. Female blue whales are a little bigger than the males, and blue whales can grow to over 30 metres long, which we know, don't we, because we did it on the playground, and weigh 140 tonnes. That's heavier than 25 elephants or 115 giraffes. In deep water there isn't much light and it's hard to see, so blue whales use their sense of hearing and their sense of touch to find their way around. Reach out and touch the blue whale's skin. It's springy and smooth like a hard-boiled egg and as slippery as wet soap. Look into its eye. It's as big as a teacup and as dark as the deep sea. Just behind the eye is a hole, as small as the end of a pencil. The hole is one of the blue whale's ears. Sticking out ears would get in the way when the whale's swimming. Might look funny though, imagine a whale with huge ears. The blue whale lives all of its long life in the sea, but it's a mammal just like us, and it breathes air, not water. From time to time it has to come to the surface to breathe through the blowholes on top of its head. Blue whales can live for about 70 to 80 years. When it breathes out, it makes a great misty puff as high as a house. This is the whale's blow, and you can see it from far away. You can hear it too, a great big poof. And if you're close enough, you can smell it, as the whale's breath is stale and fishy. A blue whale can stay underwater for 30 minutes or more, but on long journeys it usually surfaces for air every 2 to 5 minutes. A blue whale can have as many as 790 baleen plates in its mouth. Baleen is the tough, bendy stuff, like extra hard fingernails. Take a look inside its mouth. Don't worry, the blue whale doesn't eat people. It doesn't even have any teeth. It has hundreds of baleen plates instead. They're the long, bristly things hanging down from its top jaw. The whale doesn't need teeth for biting or chewing because its food is tiny. The blue whale eats krill, pale, pinkish, shrimp-like creatures the size of your little finger. Billions of them live in the cold seas around the North and South Poles, and in the summer there can be so many that the water looks pink. So in the summer, blue whales come to the polar seas to eat, and it takes an awful lot of tiny krill to feed a great big blue whale. But the whale doesn't catch them one at a time. It has a special way of swallowing whole shoals of them at once. First, it takes a huge gulp of krill and salty seawater, and there's room for all of this because the whale's throat unfolds and opens out like a vast balloon. Then it uses its big tongue to push the water out between its bristly baleen plates. A blue whale can have as many as 88 folds of skin in its throat. The water streams away and leaves the krill caught on the bristles like peas in a sieve. Now all the whale has to do is lick them off and swallow them. A blue whale can eat about 30 million krill in just one day. That is 3 big truckloads. This is how the blue whale spends the summer, eating krill and getting fat. But in the autumn, the polar seas freeze over. The krill hide under the ice where the whale cannot catch them, so the whale swims away from the icy cold and the winter storms. In the summer, the blue whale grows a thick layer of fat all over its body, and this fat is called blubber. And it's a food store for the winter, when the whale eats very little. Day after day, the blue whale swims slowly and steadily towards its winter home. Its huge tail beats up and down to push it along. Its flippers steer it left or right. For 2 months and more, the whale swims, until at least it reaches the calm, warm seas near the equator. There it stays all winter. Some blue whales spend their summers around the South Pole and swim north to the equator for the winter. Others live around the North Pole and swim south for the winter. But when it's winter at the South Pole, it's summer at the North Pole. So the 2 groups of whales never meet. And there the blue whale mother gives birth to her baby, where the storms and the cold weather can't hurt it. Male and female blue whales mate in the winter and then part, and babies are born about a year later. The blue whale's baby slithers from her body, tail first, and gently she nudges it to the surface to take its first breath. Then the baby dives beneath her to take its first drink of milk. A blue whale baby is 7 metres long at birth. It drinks 600 litres of milk a day, sucking it from the teats of its mother's belly. All through the winter, the blue whale keeps her baby close. It feeds on her creamy milk and it grows and it grows. In spring, the 2 whales return to the polar seas to feast on krill together. But by the autumn, the young whale is big enough to live on its own. So mother and young whale part and begin the long journey back to the equator. A blue whale may travel from polar seas to equator and back every year of its life. Sometimes it will swim, and other blue whales will mostly swim alone. Adult blue whales make their hums in deep water. It's much colder near the surface, which helps the hum to travel a long way. Yet the blue whale may not be as lonely as it seems, because sometimes it makes a hum so loud and so low that it can travel for thousands of kilometres through the seas to reach the other blue whales. Only a very low hum could travel so far. And only a very big animal could make a hum so low. So perhaps that's why the blue whales are the biggest creatures on Earth, so that they can talk to each other, even when they're far apart. That's a little bit like us now, isn't it, being far apart from some of our families? And we're lucky. We don't hum to our families, do we? We get to phone them, write letters to them, FaceTime them. So I hope that no one at home is feeling too lonely and you've been able to speak to your families. Who knows what they say? Here I am would be enough. Because in the vastness of the green seas, even a blue whale is small and hard to find. Wow. I hope you enjoyed that story. I'm glad we finally got to the end of it. If you go over to Google Classroom now, you will see a couple of jobs that we've left for English, so you have to let us know how you get on. Okay, take care. Bye.